we host these webinars every month to let people know about what Glific is, and also help them understand how WhatsApp chatbots can add value to their programs. And this is also like an open floor for people to ask questions, ask any sort of doubts they have with respect to chatbots, or with respect to like how other organizations are also using chatbots for their programs. Okay. I am Sneha. I lead the business development at Glific. My work is primarily around talking to nonprofits, understanding how Glific can be part of their programs, also suggesting if this is the right tool for them or not. So welcome everyone here. We also have Krishna Priya from our team. Krishna, would you like to give a quick intro about yourself?
Yeah, hi. Hello everyone, I'm Krishna Priya. I'm a product manager at Glific. So I usually work with organizations, help them execute their use cases, help them to understand how they can utilize the chatbot to its fullest potential, like chatbot and Glific to its fullest potential based on the problem that they are trying to solve. And also develop the product based or like develop the platform based on the problems that the organizations are facing. So yeah, if you are on board on Glific, you'll be meeting me more often. Yes. Thanks, Neha.
Thanks, Krishna. Okay, all right. So I am just going to start by sharing my screen. How this 1 hour is going to look like is we'll walk you through one case study. We'll walk you through how one organization has been using Glific, and also some bit of like how this platform looks like. And then we'll open up floor for any questions that you have. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right. Krishna, is this visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's just start then. So Glific is an open source WhatsApp chatbot builder that helps organizations, especially nonprofits, to bridge the last mile gap through their last mile gap digitally via smartphones. So Glific, as of now, we've been working with more than 90 NGOs in the country. We're also looking at other NGOs outside of India as well. This bot has been utilized not only in education, health, and other spaces, but it's being used across different sectors. And it's a registered DPG. What do I mean by that? Is basically it's a registered digital public good. It can be used by any organization, and it's basically built for the nonprofit space. Okay, let's just talk a little bit more about an organization that has been using Glific for quite some time now. This is Digital Green. Now, Digital Green, what they do is they basically create solutions for farmers to boost their agriculture productivity. And Digital Green has been impacting the lives of more than 1.8 million farmers across the globe. They're not only in India, but they're also like working in other parts of the world. It's a tech-enabled nonprofit. They heavily believe that tech can help them achieve the goals. They believe that their solutions that are enabled by tech can help them improve the lives of these farmers. So that is what Digital Green does. Also just wanted to say, if you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box as well. Krishna is there. She can help you answer those questions as well if you have any during the time. Okay. Yeah, so that's a bit about Digital Green. Now, before I move into what problems they were wanted to solve, and what was happening with respect to the challenges they were facing and why they thought of chatbot, I just wanted to ask a question to the audience. If do you know what a chatbot is? If you can type yes in the chat chat window, that would be great. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Abhishek. Okay. Okay. Vazit says no. No worries. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for answering that question. Vazit, I'll just, for you and for others also, just want to share that WhatsApp chatbot is basically a tool or a platform that can help you automate your conversation. Now, if you look at WhatsApp basically on our smartphones, we have an app. That's the basic WhatsApp that we use. Then we have WhatsApp Business. You have another separate app, which is WhatsApp Business app. Now, this is the third product of WhatsApp, which is WhatsApp Business API, which is a platform-based solution, which helps you to, have conversations, make those conversations automated on the platform, and you don't have to like actually sit at the back end and send a response to a user. It can be accessed anytime when the user wants that information. So that is what chatbots are. So it's an automated solution. Yes, it is going to be available. We're going to record. We're recording the video. We're recording the session. Okay, all right. So that's a bit on what WhatsApp chatbot is. I'll explain a little bit more towards the end if you have any questions. Now let's just talk about what challenges this organization was facing. Now, Digital Green works at a very large scale. Now, they realized that there was a lack of timely access to personalized information. Basically, the farmers wanted this information as per as per their need, and also as per the time they required, right? I mean, if someone wants an information at, let's suppose, 12 a.m. in the night, there won't be any person sitting at the back end who would be sharing the information. So they wanted timely, there was a lack of timely access to personalized information. So every farmer is also at a very different journey with respect to the crop that they are, they're taking care of. So they wanted something which is very like timely and should be personalized to the farmer. They also face a lot of regional language barrier and low-end devices. So these farmers don't have high-end devices. They're having very basic smartphones. And also they wanted information in regional languages. The third is Digital Green also realized that there's an absence of two-way communication. What I mean by that is there's a lot of like information given to the farmers, but there's no way to collect back the feedback, or even like, is this the training program that's happening on ground, even if this is this relevant for them or not. So basically these are like couple of challenges which they were facing. And through chatbots, they also wanted to solve these problems as well. Like, how can I make sure that I am sharing personalized advisory or personalized information to farmers at scale, not only to like a handful of farmers, but also at a large scale. They also wanted to share information when the farmer requires it the most, not when we feel like, hey, let's just give this information to the farmer. And the third one is basically how to analyze the impact and get feedback from the farmers. Even if what do I mean by getting feedback? Meaning that the training program that's happening or the information they're sharing with the farmer, is it even relevant for them or not? So that is what they thought are a couple of challenges, and this is why they thought of moving into the direction of WhatsApp chatbots. So majorly scale, sharing timely information, and also having a two-way communication. So now how they're doing it on the bot? This is their Telangana's chatbot, where this screen has couple of screenshots. The first thing they wanted to do was sharing personalized advisory. Personalized advisory meaning that the advisory or the information that the farmer is going to receive is going to be personalized. It depends on where their crop is as per the crop calendar. So for every farmer, there's a crop calendar. Now, so the bot is going to ask a couple of questions in the beginning, and it will understand where this farmer's crop is, and basis that crop calendar, now personalized information will be shared with the farmer. Now if someone says my crop is between, let's suppose, 5 to 10 days or 15 to 30 days, now there's a difference between the two, and the farmer who is in the first bracket would receive a different type of information versus the latter one. So that is how they wanted to share personalized advisory. The other thing which they were doing was collecting weather, providing weather advisory to these farmers. So because for farmers, it's very important to have, very important to know the weather of their location, weather of weather of their region. So through the bot, they also asked farmers, hey, are you interested in receiving this advisory or not? So it's not like just being pushed onto the farmer. Farmer had a choice to receive it or not. If farmer said, yes, I want to receive it, then there was a small process for them to enable that. And for next couple of days, they would, keep getting the weather advisory. So basically, you're giving the power to the farmer or the power to the user to decide what information they need versus just pushing on that to the end user. The third one, how they're using it is by they're checking the adoption assessment. Now, in the morning, they will share the recommended practice, which they feel as per the crop calendar should the farmer be adopting that. Now, if they share that information in the beginning, by the end of the day, they will also share the effectiveness, whether this content makes sense to them or not. And they would, in the evening, they would ask, hey, did you apply this advisory to your farm? So that's how they were checking whether the content that I'm sharing is, even if it is it even relevant or not. So that's one thing they're checking. The other one is another thing they did from the bot is basically collecting demographic data, gender, age, and other details of the farmer for analytical and reporting, for the reporting purposes. So that is what they were doing. So this is majorly how they have been using the bot. From an in-person, so I'll also tell you like how the program was running. So from an in-person training, they realized that now farmer, when they go back to their places, there's a huge gap of sharing information when the farmer needs it. Now, what they did was they complemented this chatbot with their in-person training. So now chatbot provided additional resources to farmers to receive, videos, information, which was complementing the in-person dissemination. So in person, they will attend the training. Now, if they'll go back home, they will keep getting some bits of like information which is relevant to them on a timely basis. Now, that is one way they were doing it. The other way was, it was convenient for them to track and assess the impact. How they were doing it is by, using data dashboards. They were tracking how the farmers are, engaging with the chatbot. Are they finding the content relevant or not? So they have set up a data dashboard to check real-time data to understand how, even if is this chatbot even making sense for them or not. So that's second. The other way was in-person training was limited to a couple of farmers, right? I mean, you can't have very large number of training happening at one day with so many farmers. There are places where farmers might not be able to come. So if the trainings are happening at centralized locations, so they wanted to scale the program beyond in-person training, and chatbot helped them in scaling that program because they were running those content and modules on WhatsApp, and they were also capturing farmers feedback. This is a screenshot from Digital Green's dashboard. Now they've set up this dashboard to understand how's the basically get a sense of the data, also getting sense on a regular basis to understand what is happening on the ground. So they have been running multiple bots with Glific. So if you can see, the chili one is here. Then first of all, it talks about the total contacts, then how many have opted for automated advisory. So these are like couple of, so they've customized it as per their requirements. They're also seeing distribution of messages, how many messages have been sent over time. I've just taken two screenshots, but it's a long dashboard for which they have set. But the idea is basically whatever information you think you want to track through the bot, you can track it. You can customize this dashboard as per your need. Okay. Now that is what I mean. That's a bit on Digital Green and how they have been using. Let's just talk about why we think WhatsApp chatbot is a solution for nonprofits. It helps you to overcome the barrier of language. Now, WhatsApp chatbots are available in any regional language, which are basically enabled by Meta. So languages that are enabled by Meta are also available on enabled on Glific. So it helps you to overcome the barrier of language, low literacy. What do I mean by low literacy? Is basically you can also use, at times you see that people can't type. It's better if they can send a voice note. So that is also something which is possible. And then you can share relevant information basis that voice note as well. Low connectivity and low-end devices. Most of the devices have WhatsApp on it. India has the highest penetration of WhatsApp in the world. So it definitely makes a lot of sense for organizations to also use WhatsApp for their programs. It also overcomes the barrier of adopting a new technology. What I mean by that is basically at times organizations end up like developing an app, and then we have also seen like there's a gap between user engagement when you keep pushing the user to come on the app and eventually user drops off there. So this chatbot can help you to run your programs on WhatsApp itself instead of taking them to a separate platform. So that's one. And it also offers a two-way communication, like I mentioned. Okay. There's some generic ways in which how nonprofits have been using Glific. We spoke about agriculture, which is basically sending farming advisories, sharing mandi rates for crops, weather forecast, preventive pest control measures. Quite a few NGOs have been using Glific for educational programs as well. So we have more than 50 NGOs that are in the education space. They use Glific to send activities and worksheets, track class performance. They also train their teachers, and also track their progress, how the teachers are learning over time. For healthcare, they use, you can use it to send weekly health status. We have an organization, Arogya World, that basically works on preventing NCDs, non-communicable diseases, and they basically work on helping people to come out of diabetes. And how they do it is basically sending a nudge to the user saying that, hey, how's your health status today, or how's your how much sugar did you eat. Like, so they have like a set of questions which are timed messages which are being sent to the bot, which are being sent through the bot to the user, which helps them to help them track their health status. You can also set up counseling helplines, FAQs on the bot, and grievance redressals as well. Okay, so we say that if you think there's a scope of digitally interacting with your users and you want to want it to happen at scale, you can definitely deploy Glific. Okay, I'll just walk you through how the platform looks like. So this, once you log in into your chat, once you log in into your platform, now we spoke about that WhatsApp chatbot is basically a platform-based service. Once you log in, on the home screen, you would see on the right panel, you would see all the chats. So this chatbot would have interacted with many users. So you would see all those, the list of users here. And once you click on any one of those, you can see you can see the details of the chat here. Okay. On the left panel, we have chat, speech sense, flows. Flows is basically where you build your conversations. Yeah. Flows is basically where you build your conversation. So all these conversations that you see are automated. So you basically build all of those in the chatbot, in the conversation builder. Yeah, this is a conversation builder. Now, once you would see that this has like multiple nodes. So whenever if you know what type of content you want to share with the user, you can easily build it on the in the conversation builder, and you can also preview it here. So how, when you're building the conversation, you can keep seeing like how my conversation is panning out to be. So this is like a preview window to see what is happening. Okay. Okay. How do you know if Glific is the right tool for you? So we say that if you are an NGO, you're working with at least 500 beneficiaries and you want to scale, that is a prerequisite. I would also not say it's a prerequisite. We also see that, hey, if you're currently engaging with even lesser than that number, and you see a scope of going at a scale with the bot, then also you can use it. Or if you have an intense program. What do I mean by intense program is like on a weekly basis, you are interacting with, let's suppose, 300, 400 people, and the conversations or the information that you need from them, or the information you want to share with them is quite a bit. So then also you can think about implementing the bot. The other is basically if your program involves like gathering feedback, doing M&E, you want to complement with your on-ground program to understand the effectiveness of your programs. You want to track user engagement. Most of our organizations have been using WhatsApp groups to interact with end users. And they see that if they share an information on the WhatsApp group, they don't know whether all of them found it useful or not. Did all of my user actually felt like this is relevant for me or not? So if you want to go level deeper and want to share information which is more personalized to all those people who are in WhatsApp groups, then you can also think about implementing Glific. But just one thing, how it is different than WhatsApp group is it's a one-on-one solution. Groups is like you have more people on the group. One very important prerequisite is at least you have a team member who can drive this WhatsApp chatbot from your end, who can take responsibility and ownership of like running the chatbot, and the organization should also have some funds to manage the platform. Okay, so these are like a couple of our partners. See if you can recognize a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I ask a question?
Yeah, I'm just on the last slide. Okay, all right. I'm just going to open the floor for questions now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we can take up questions. Yeah, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Sneha, for this morning. I think we at Muscanti, we works to empower the government school teachers with technology. So our focus is around it. How do we build the capacity of government school teachers so that they can use technology effectively in their classroom for teaching and learning practices inside the classrooms? And we have been exploring, chatbot in the last couple of years. I think that one of the gap which we are facing, not the gap, but was around the cost, right? So just wanted to check, with Glific, like what is the cost that comes, So for example, today we are working for example, 10,000 teachers, and tomorrow it will go to 1 lakh teachers. So what would be that tentative cost? It is a per user cost, or is it a bulk cost that we measure, So just wanted to understand that. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks,
You
Abhishek,
want
for
me to
that
take?
question. Yeah, Krishna, you want to go ahead?
You want me to take or you want to?
I can take this one up. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So pricing basically is sort of like divided into three major elements when you want to set up Glific. The first one is there's a one-time setup charge that we take. when we're setting up the platform. So you can, that's a one-time setup. You can keep that aside. The other two costs majorly are, one is the running cost of the bot. Basically, what do I mean by that is, Glific is a platform, right? So Glific comes with a monthly subscription fee, which is 7,500 per month. That is that depends on your usage, but basic charges 7,500 per month. The second element is WhatsApp fee. So now WhatsApp fee is the dynamic fee, which would depend on the number of users. Now, if you have more number of users, definitely Meta's charges would be applicable, and the charges would go up and down depending on your usage. I can share that with you over in the chat window how the Meta pricing looks like. But the idea is basically the basic cost, or the fixed cost, is the platform cost. The dynamic cost is the WhatsApp feed. That depends on how you are interacting with the user, how many users are there. It's dependent on that.
Okay. Thank you, Sneha. I think better if we can share the costing if possible.
Sure,
That would be helpful. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Hi, myself Rosmi. So I have a question. We have different projects going on at our organization. So can we customize the chatbot or we have different types of users. So for different users, we have to customize the questions and the replies differently. So can we can we design in such a way?
Yeah. So yes, you can definitely do it. In a single chatbot, you can actually create multiple user experiences. For example, there are organizations who use a chatbot for teachers and also for students, and we can do for parents also. So basically, like we have different user experiences that you can create, and for each user experience, you can have a different persona. So you can definitely do it. It shouldn't be a problem.
So, do we need two subscription for it, yeah, or we can
No,
do it
one
in
instance
one
should be
go?
enough. One instance, there'll be, so what the user experience that you create, the messages that you write, hey, what will I send? Then what should user respond, and what will my response to be this? That content, you'll have a different people for different like you'll create different flow is what we called it. You'll create different flows for different kind of users, but it's a single Glific instance. So one Glific instance, you'll have all this, you can do multiple flows created. It's only one Glific platform, like one chatbot. Did that answer your question?
Okay, thank you.
Matushri, you had a question on the chat. Sorry, can you please elaborate on what is multi-sectorial NGO?
Yes,
Like,
if for say an NGO which works in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana in rural areas for about 3,000 villages, with multi-sectorial interventions like education, health, and women empowerment, you said that the pricing would be same when we use the chatbot. It will be customizable for different areas of work, right?
true.
So my question is, have you ever worked with such a multi-sectorial invention NGO, and can you share your experience so that we can also, get insight into that?
Yeah, so we don't have many organizations who are using in multi-sectorial, but that's definitely possible. So we have Pyramid Foundation who use it for multiple purposes, like for multi-sectorial purposes. And we have Bhumi. I wouldn't say multi-sectorial exactly, though Bhumi works in the volunteering space, but there are different kinds of volunteering initiatives that they do work on. So, like again, how I answered the previous question, it's the same thing. Like in a single chatbot, you can definitely address different kinds of sectors or problems or use cases. So you can still have a single one, but say if you are a woman from a village in Telangana versus me, I'm a student in Maharashtra. we can design the chatbot in such a way that for you, the way chatbot, the information that chatbot is sharing with you or the way it is interacting with you is very different from the way it is interacting with you. So you can customize or design chatbots in multiple ways you want, even from a single chatbot.
Okay, okay, great. That answers my question. Thank you.
Hi Krishna, this is Surekha. I wanted to ask, like, what is the designing of the procedure, like the responses which we want to get from this thing, like what is the designing procedure of the chatbot and all that, like how it has been finalized, whether there is certain meetings with the NGOs and how it is like. I want to understand the designing part.
So if I'm getting your question right, you're asking me how to design the chatbots, right?
Yeah, designing with regard to the NGO's perspective.
Okay. So basically, it's like a like Glific is like a chatbot builder, right? So you can build whatever you want. So imagine like a flow chart. So flowchart is more like, hey, this is the question asked. If they say yes, then do this. If they say no, do this. If they say something else, do this. So imagine it like a flowchart. So on Glific, you'll create something very similar. You'll create a flowchart. You will say, hey, this is what I sent the message. Then the user will respond to this. Then this is a question I'll ask. If the user say yes, I'll say this. If the user say no, I'll say this. So this is the flowchart which you'll be creating on the Glific platform based on your use case or your user. So it's a platform or like a chatbot builder. So you can create your flows. Every NGO creates their own flows. We don't customize it based on any NGO. The Glific platform it is in such a way that any NGO can use it for any use case that they want.
Got
And
it.
we like whoever comes on board on Glific, like for the first 5 hours, like we give like a free consulting hours for first 5 hours. In that period, we actually build that capacity within the NGO in terms of how to design the flows on Glific platform, how to design effective conversations so that your engagement gets higher, how to check data. So these are something capacity that we built in the initial month. And post that, like again, we have a support channel through which you can ask questions or we can help you in the flow creations, etc.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
Sureka, just wanted to add one bit to what Krishna shared. So you can basically use, I mean, when you're thinking about chatbots, we see that you have more understanding of what your audience is expecting, or what type of content would go well with your users, right? Because you've been running your programs on ground. So content is something that we see like you have, definitely mastery over. And if you have the content with you, if you know this type of language or this type of flow works well with your user, then you can have it directly put on the bot. So basically this platform doesn't have the ability to figure out what's the right content. The content is something that you will provide, and you can put it on the bot to then to be shared with the users. And also
Okay.
it's an iterative process. I mean, once you'll put something, you'll test it out with a couple of users, then you'll again see like, hey, this language makes sense versus that language makes sense. So you'll keep on iterating and figure out what's the right content. Or the right...
One more question. Whether we'll be able to share with the users any kind of documents, videos, or resources, right?
Yeah.
Depending upon their need.
You can share PDFs, images, videos on through the chatbot.
Everything that you can do on a WhatsApp, you can technically do it on a WhatsApp chatbot, except GIFs. Everything else works. Even stickers works, videos, audio, PDF, any sort of document. So everything that you can do on a WhatsApp, you can technically do.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
We have a question from Sonali in the chat window. So Sonali wants to know about the drawbacks of using an automated chatbot versus interacting with a human. How has this been in your users' experience? Krishna, would you like to take that?
Definitely. So Sonali, there are very different advantages that an automated chatbot gives compared to interacting with a human. So, for example, if you are working with, like, say, 100 users, say maybe a human can actually sit and answer things, right? Like you can create a WhatsApp group, or even WhatsApp group, like thousands of messages coming, things get buried and you often lose track of what is being asked or what is being shared. So that's one big disadvantage of a WhatsApp group. So even if you just give like your WhatsApp number and ask people, hey, if you have any questions or if you want any information, just share it here. Then till 100, like 100 is still a number which a normal human can't manage. So even your operations team can't manage. But say beyond that, it's next to impossible, where you are practically sitting and answering every kind of question, right? So in that cases, automated chatbot will be very helpful because you are reducing a manual effort. For example, it's just not about answering questions. Even if you want to send a content to 100 people every time, you have to send like a broadcast message, which requires somebody to save your number. And it's broadcast message, like if they are replying to it, you should be able to track what they are replying. You should be able to see. A chatbot will do most of that work without a human intervening. So right now, like if like 4 people, like if you are working with say 10,000 users, 5 people is still a small number, but 5 people answering or responding to 10,000 people versus one person creating the flows and managing the flows, that's a high level of human intervention which gets reduced. Two, also the amount of data that you will be able to capture, like because in a human intervention we'll only capture certain amount of data. We'll just say like, here's a question, answer what kind of question is coming. But with a chatbot, you'll be able to track all data, like at what time they are being more active, at what kind of questions that they are asking. So with a lot of data coming in a much organized manner, you'll be able to draw a lot of insights from interaction with your users. Three, again, we are not saying that chatbot, like an automated chatbot, will be just a direct solution, right? So even in Glific platform, we have certain spaces where you can say, after a certain intervention, you can redirect to a human. For example, we have a couple of organizations who are using a ChatGPT sort of integration. So with the questions asked, like the bot will be smart enough to understand the natural language question, answer it from the document or like a knowledge base that you add. And if the answer is still not resolved for the user, then it will take it to a human. It's more like a ticketing system that we call, which is more like a big basket, or like where the tickets come and the support person answers. So these kind of things, the manual intervention or a natural language response related things are still there. And based on the user experience, I don't think it will impact a lot. It depends on how you are able to write your content, write your messaging. So like user experience would not hamper a lot as well. Did I answer you, Sonali? It was like a long answer, but yeah.
Yes. No, that was very helpful. That was really helpful. I was wondering if I had any further questions. Would I be able to email you after the
Sure.
session?
Sure, please do. Please do write to Sneha. Like Sneha will drop her email ID if she hasn't already. Okay.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Rashmi, on the technical skills, no, it's more like a drag and drop. So it's just like basic, like if you know how to create flowcharts, or if you can understand the basic things, you should be pretty much able to do. For data analysis, it's an inbuilt function. So all the data goes to BigQuery. And we created like a sample dashboard also, connecting BigQuery based on the metrics which most of the NGOs check. So you can either use that sample dashboard for yourself, or you can have your own custom dashboard based on what metrics you want to check and do.
So will it be possible to download the response like in exporting in Excel or?
Yes. So as I said, it all goes to BigQuery. And then from there, you can build it anywhere. Like you can either query it and get it from there, or you can export from there, or you can just get it onto a dashboard and export data from there. So that's pretty much possible. So every data, every message, like again, then project wise or user wise, you can definitely do it. It's a custom thing. Like you want to put a filter of project, then only that project information would come.
Okay, thank you.
There are some analytics available on the platform also. I'll just show you. This is in a beta version. Yeah, this is how your platform looks like, right? I showed you earlier. Now, if you go to analytics here, this also gives you some basic idea on how what's a daily contacts, like daily conversation, most active hour. So this also will give you some level of information. But if you want more customized information, then you have to set up your data data dashboard or data studio report. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? If
Hi,
not,
Sneha.
yeah, Sonali, go.
This is Sonali again. I actually had one more question. If we have time, I thought I could just ask.
Of
But
course.
can you or has Glific been used in the past, or could you see it being applied to deliver like a therapeutic intervention? So something around mental health or suicide. Obviously, it would have to be at like the lower level, right? And then it would pass someone on to a person. But like, can you see any applications of it around that? But also focused on research. So I see the data collection angle very clearly, but I was wondering about that type of service delivery.
Krishna, do you know of any one that's using for mental well-being or something like that?
Not actually. We have organizations who are using chatbot as a kind of helpline. But the sector is slightly different. They use for parents who have children with say who have special abilities. So that's one sector like which I think is, I wouldn't say close, but yeah, somewhere close to what you are saying. But we don't have any organizations in suicide prevention or a mental health space. So one, the data collection that you spoke about can definitely they be there. Two, the way the other organization which I was mentioning, they use it for spreading awareness or like spreading training related, like spreading awareness or things which they can share with the parents to handle their children, or questions in terms of nearest to hospitals or psychiatrists. So those different kinds of things. So maybe we can have a chat on your, like, what are the different ways in which you can use, but you don't have any organizations who are directly working in this space.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much. That's really helpful. Appreciate the proper long answers. Thank you.
Does anyone have any other question? Otherwise, I'll just show you a quick demo of another chatbot. Okay, I'm just going to share screen. I'll just show you another chatbot, which is, can you see my screen, Krishna? I think.
Yes, Neha. We can.
Okay. Okay, great.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so this is Tap Buddy. Tap is the apprentice project. They work with students to build creativity and social emotional skills. This is a walkthrough of how they have created the chatbot. There was a question earlier on drawbacks, right? Human versus using the chatbot. So now if you'll see that chatbot, they've tried to make it very user friendly. They've tried to make it in a way that it's in the language of the children, is in the language how they the children would feel motivated throughout their program. So just have a look at this one.
Tab Buddy is a WhatsApp chatbot built to instill social and emotional skills such as creativity, confidence, and problem solving into students through simple activities. A student's journey starts by clicking on the registration link that redirects them to the bot. The registration process starts with giving consent, allowing the bot to message them further. The next step is to select a language in which they want to interact with the bot. As of now, the bot provides 2 languages, English and Hindi. It is then followed by collecting basic details of the student, like name, grade, and school name. As we believe in choice-based learning, students choose which course they want to learn to build their skills on. We send a course overview video for each course, which helps students in making an informed decision. After completing the course selection, students receive one bite-sized activity embedded with skills every week. We have also built a natural language processor in the bot, which replies to the questions asked, which are different from the keywords on the buttons provided. These activity videos have an assignment for students to complete and submit to us, which will help us assess their learning. A quiz about the content they just viewed follows every activity a student completes. Throughout a flow, gamification elements are added to intrinsically and extrinsically motivate students. This is inspired by Yu-Kai Chow's gamification octalysis framework. While leaderboards, a point system, and badges are part of extrinsic motivation, messages including elements of building curiosity, scarcity, appreciation, and social influence intrinsically motivate students. Constant feedback is also taken from users to involve them in strengthening the product. Users who stop a flow in between receive reminder messages to nudge them to complete it. The uniqueness of Tab Buddy is that there is no extra setup needed, and a familiar UI that consumes lesser data makes it convenient for underprivileged students to learn from home with a basic smartphone connection to the internet.
Okay, that was a demo of Tab Buddy. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask us.
There are no questions, but this demo helped me to understand like how that chatbot would work. So thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Rekha.
Sneha, I have a question.
Yeah, but
The video that you just sent, showed it to us. Can you just send a link to it, or is it available in YouTube or somewhere?
yeah, I'll send a YouTube link. Yeah, just do that in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Thanks, Rekha. Just if you're looking at setting up Glific, just one question which we generally get is, what is the starting point? How can you set it up? I'll just talk to you about that a bit. So one is, when you're setting up or thinking about setting up a chatbot, you would definitely need a phone number, a number that you can use for the bot. That's one. The other essential bit is Facebook Business Manager verification. So Meta tries to verify whether your organization is a legit business entity to run a chatbot. So these are the 2 essential items to start the bot. Once you have these 2 things in place, We help you to set up your account. We set up your account in a day's time or two, and then we help you with our with the onboarding, with the training that Krishna was talking about. So that is how usually a journey looks like in the beginning. Yeah, so Surekha, so Facebook is trying to, so what happens is Facebook tries to verify whether your organization can run a chatbot or not. So basically they will try to see whether this organization has right branding, this organization has the has the right branding in terms of like the name of the organization, does it matches well with the documents that they have. So it's sort of a long process, it's quite operational in nature. But at times what happens is the first bit where getting the phone number and the Facebook verification bit takes like close to a month's time. So just wanted to share that with all of you. It's a slightly operational process, but that is how an organization sets up their chatbot. Another important thing I wanted to share is so Glific majorly, I mean, we are quite hands-on with respect to support. We have a Discord channel. Discord is a communication tool which generally our team and NGOs basically use to communicate with us. We ask you to come on Discord, ask any questions that you have with respect to your bot, or in general, if you have any doubts, you can come and ask questions. Our team is quite approachable. Okay, great. That's good to know. So yeah, so Discord is something that we have been using. We also hold sprints every quarter. So sprint is a space where we ask NGOs to work with us in person if they have a feature request or if they need any support which is specific to their organization. Glific organizes these sprints on a quarterly basis. It's a 3 to 5 day sprint where organizations come and work on a particular feature. Recently, we had our sprint last month where organizations that were looking at implementing LLMs, Chat GPT onto their chatbots. We had a LLM cohort that we organized for organizations. So we had close to 5-6 organizations that worked on the LLM bit. Yeah, so every sprint there is definitely an agenda. There's definitely features that we want organizations to think about, and also basically take your chatbot to next level. So that's also a very good space for organizations to come and get support from us. So Rasmi, price per number of users, I mean, if you can tell us how many users are there, we can share the pricing with you. Basically, this is Meta's pricing or Gupshup's pricing. We can share that with you. It will be
tentatively around 20,000.
Okay, let's suppose you have 20,000 users, and can you also share how many times you want to speak to them in a month?
At least once.
Once a month. Got it. Okay, so we'll try to share that information with you.
No, at least 4 times in a month.
4 times. In a month. Okay, so let's suppose you're saying 4 times in a month. And also in one day, how many times? How many messages on an average you see? 4 messages?
Yes.
4. Okay. I will share this information with you over email. I mean, if anyone else also has such request where they need customized or basically use case specific pricing, I can share that also with you. Basically, the platform fee is fixed, right? 7,500 per month, but this is the WhatsApp usage fee. So I can share that estimate with you over email.
Okay, thank you.
Abhishek, do you also want to share that information? I can share more specific pricing for your use case then. Yes, Surekha, please. Okay. And how many? 800 users twice. Got it. I will share this with you. Okay. In case you have any questions, I'm just dropping my email address here. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. We can also set up a call with you if, if you want us to help you out, figure out what would be the right use case for Glific. We can, come on a call, have a chat with you to understand whether it makes sense for you to have this use case on your chatbot or not. So we're open to have that conversation also. So don't feel pressure that you just want that we are going to just tell you to get onboarded on Glific. We are happy to even say no to you if you feel that this use case doesn't make sense for you. So if you're open for that conversation, feel free to drop an email here. I'm also going to share my Calendly link with you so that you can block a time. Sure, Shankar. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. So time is up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If you have any more questions, you can either drop it in, or you can write to me on my email address. I've also shared my Calendly link with you. Okay, thank you, everyone.